Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Tonight, the First Arena hosted the Elmira College hockey team for the arena's grand reopening. This is the first time the arena has hosted hockey since the city welcomed in new tenants. Big Fox's Matt Kleindienst was at the revitalized arena earlier today.
Good evening, Scott. In a few hours, these seats right beside me will be filled with fans and students as they watch Elmira College take on Hobart College. It's not only an important conference matchup for the Soaring Eagles, but also for the tenants of First Arena.
It's been a long haul to get the building reopened.
The concession stands are stacked. The merchandise is displayed in the team store, and the ice is ready to welcome hockey back to First Arena.
I think everyone involved is just so excited to be here this evening for a huge event.
Tonight's game marks the first time the arena has hosted a hockey game since bringing in new tenants. Steve Donner of Mammoth Sports and Entertainment says his team has been working for weeks to clean and prepare the building for the grand reopening.
Our local contractors have been working nonstop for the last 3 weeks, literally 14-hour days, and they'll be working right up to game time tonight.
This is the first time Elmira College has played hockey in First Arena in over 7 years. While the work in the arena is far from complete, Donner is glad to have the First Arena open for a competitive conference matchup.
This building could have been closed all winter, and in the cold of a winter night here in Elmira and Chemung County, going to be a ton of excitement, a ton of people coming downtown tonight.
Donner is expecting between 2,000 and 3,000 fans in attendance for the game. Matt Kleindienst, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
3 new reports from the CDC show the importance of getting vaccinated and boosted to protect against COVID. Jonathan Seri has more from Atlanta.
COVID-19 after 2 years has worn people down.
It was 2 years ago today that the first COVID case in the U.S. was confirmed. A 35-year-old man who had just returned from visiting family in China. Now we're averaging about 750,000 new cases every day as the Omicron surge grinds on. But new data from the CDC show getting a third dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine is 90% effective in preventing hospitalizations due to Omicron. It's the first real-world study of boosters during the Omicron surge and highlights the importance of getting that third shot.
We are in a different place because vaccines are highly protective and have to be the foundation.
But health officials say to stop a strain as contagious as Omicron, vaccines also need to be accompanied by other mitigation efforts such as social distancing, with some doctors concerned about high reinfection rates with this variant.
That reinfection as well causes us some concerns because it means even if you don't get sick, you can still transmit it to others.
Meanwhile, the Omicron surge is showing signs of weakening, with cases declining in states hit early on by the variant. And a new Mayo Clinic model predicts Omicron will peak before the end of January, followed by a steep drop in cases, with researchers already looking ahead to the next strain.
It's going to evolve to the next variant, which is going to be more transmissible than the Omicron variant, which was more transmissible than the Delta variant.
On Friday, the White House launched a hotline for Americans to order up to 4 free at-home COVID tests. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
A high school student is in custody in Pennsylvania. Investigators say it began when they received a call about a person with a weapon at Academy Park High School in Sharon Hill this morning. Officials say the student posted a picture of themselves apparently holding what appeared to be a gun somewhere on campus. Officials say the student has been apprehended and no students were hurt. The incident is under investigation. Fire crews were called to a house fire in Elmira this morning. Firefighters were on the scene on 2nd Street around 8:30. That fire was contained by around 10 a.m. Officials say all occupants of the house were evacuated safely from the burning building. Elmira authorities are investigating the cause of the fire. Tax season is kicking off, and major backlogs aren't the only concern for taxpayers this year. Jerry Willis reports on a new IRS plan to require facial recognition to access your data.
A new program being launched by the IRS will require you to scan your face and provide other personal data in order to be able to access your online tax data. The IRS hiring a third-party company, ID.me, as gatekeeper to verify filers' identity, claiming facial recognition is the most secure way to file. Charles Rettig, IRS Commissioner, saying this Identity verification is critical to protect taxpayers and their information. The IRS has been working hard to make improvements in this area, and this new verification process is designed to make IRS online applications as secure as possible. But taxpayer trust in the IRS is extremely low, due in part to scandals like the targeting of Tea Party groups by the IRS in 2013. Leading some to question whether the information gathered by ID.me will be shared with the nation's largest tax collector or other federal agencies. ID.me says the IRS doesn't see biometrics. It's simply confirmation that the person is legitimate. Listen.
We match a selfie to the photo on your government ID. It's called one-to-one matching. It's what you do every time you unlock your smartphone. We want to be crystal clear that we do one-to-one matching. We're not doing any type of surveillance programs or anything of that nature.
He added that the only case in which information from the company's scans might be shared with federal agencies is in the cases of fraud, when a scammer is posing as a taxpayer. Now, with Monday being the first day that 2021 tax returns will be accepted, the IRS is facing a critical tax season. Just before Christmas, the agency still had 6 million unprocessed returns from last year. And President Biden has made moves to increase their workload by looking at digital payment apps. By June, facial recognition will be the only way to log into IRS.gov. That's where people check in on child tax credit updates and online payment updates. It's a long way to go for an agency whose some of their processing equipment is 40 years old.
The music world, friends and fans are mourning the loss of legendary musician and actor Meat Loaf. From hits spanning the years to memorable on-screen roles, Ashley Dvorkin has a look back at his career.
He took to the stage like a bat out of hell, entertaining for decades. Rock singer Meat Loaf has died at the age of 74. Meat Loaf was born Marvin Lee Aday, but went by his nickname since he was a kid. The Grammy-winning singer was a performer since high school. I'm gonna hit the highway like a battering ram. 1977 launched Meat Loaf into rock and roll stardom with his iconic collaboration with songwriter Jim Steinman, Bat Out of Hell. In addition to the title track, hits which would go on to stand the test of time included 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, and Paradise by the Dashboard Light. In 1993, he and Steinman made a sequel to the album, Bat Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell, which featured another smash hit, I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. Bat Out of Hell 3, The Monster is Loose, Hell in a Handbasket, and Braver Than We Are would follow. From touring to Las Vegas residencies, Meat Loaf brought his commanding rock opera style and theatrical storytelling to live shows. That music even went on to tell stories for him. Bat Out of Hell was turned into Bat Out of Hell the Musical in 2017. Among many acting roles throughout his career were the 1975 original The Rocky Horror Picture Show and 1999's Fight Club. A family statement posted on his official Facebook page says Meat Loaf passed away surrounded by his wife Deborah, his daughters Pearl and Amanda, and close friends. It adds, "We know how much he meant to so many of you, and we truly appreciate all the love and support as we move through this time of grief in losing such an inspiring artist and beautiful man. From his heart to your souls, don't ever stop rocking." In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Still ahead tonight, the United States has seen an unprecedented surge of people calling in sick.
This huge number of people missing from the workforce for a period of time is going to put a lot of constraints on producers of goods.
More on the effect on the workforce due to COVID-19 and how it may affect your wallet.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Your Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. If you could believe it, it was even colder today than it was yesterday. Corning and Elmira reporting temperatures that were about 7 degrees colder than this time yesterday, 10 degrees colder in Mansfield, but only about 2 in Wayland. For the rest of the evening, temperatures will continue to dive down to around 12 degrees below zero by early tomorrow morning. We are expecting some clear skies as well, maybe just a few passing clouds, but by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be close to record lows, but then I think we will enjoy some glimpses of sunshine during the day. It's not going to be quite as cold this weekend as it has been for the last couple of days. We have another storm system approaching, and it will bring the possibility of snow by early next week. If you are brave enough to go outside in that cold, here's a look at what you can expect if you're going to be taking a walk. Single digits at 9 o'clock, 21 degrees at noon, and then we drop down to around 20 with mostly cloudy conditions at 5 o'clock. So temperatures tomorrow really won't be above freezing whatsoever, but it's not going to be quite as cold as it was today. We have another storm system approaches over the weekend. The jet stream, as you notice, there is a dip in it by Saturday night into Sunday. There will be some snow spreading into our area by the end of the day on Sunday, and it looks like more chances of snow as we head into early next week. So again, we do have increasing cloud cover with snow chances on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and that will start to taper off by Wednesday. So it looks like more snow is to be had as we head into the next few days. Our future radar is showing we're not going to see any precipitation for your Saturday other than a few clouds. That's pretty much it. It is going to be a pretty quiet day. Notice in blue, though, that showing up by the end of the day on Saturday. Some of that snow will be inching its way into Steuben County and the rest of our hometowns. So there is the possibility of a few snow showers, not only for Sunday, but also into your Monday. So just get ready for some wet roads and a lot more snow as we head into early next week. Here's a look at your forecast. Tonight, again, we're going to be well below zero. Extra blanket a necessity. There will be some clouds across our sky. And then tomorrow there will be some glimpses of sunshine, highs around 25 degrees, but it is going to feel like zero or even below that. Your 7-day forecast calls for more snow Monday into Tuesday, and then Arctic air will be back by Wednesday. Highs only in the teens. We drop back down to below zero by Thursday morning, but we gradually warm up by the end of the week.
The U.S. has seen an unprecedented surge in people calling in sick, and the effect on the workforce could be felt for a while due to the lingering COVID-19 pandemic. Tia Ewing has the story.
Close to 9 million Americans called into work because they were dealing with symptoms from COVID-19 or caring for someone with the virus, according to the Census Bureau. Experts like Dr. John Segretti with Rush University Medical Center says that's not surprising because we are dealing with the highly contagious variant of COVID-19, the dominant strain in the U.S. known as Omicron.
With Omicron, we've been seeing a lot of people getting infected, as we have here in Chicago and in Illinois.
It's been dubbed the Great American Sickout. It's the highest total since the pandemic started in early 2020. Within 12 days, 6% of the nation's employees had to call in ill. Labor experts say it could hit us all in the pockets.
This huge number of people missing from the workforce for a period of time is going to put a lot of constraints on producers of goods.
Add that with inflation, it's wiping out wage increases for many workers as the cost of essential goods like food and gas is up. Businesses in lower wage fields have said for months that their day-to-day operations have been hampered by labor shortages.
This type of unpredictability is something companies have to adapt to because we very well may continue to see it for a period of time.
A 19-year-old lands back home in Belgium after securing her spot as the youngest woman to fly around the globe. Ashley Strohmeyer tells the story of this teen's perilous journey to a Guinness World Record.
After 155 days, 41 countries, and 28,000 nautical miles, Zara Rutherford lands safely back home in Belgium. but this time as a Guinness World Record holder.
She wanted to do something, she's done it. We told her and her brother since they were born that they can do anything, that they're extraordinary and there are no limits. And I think she took that rather literally.
Zara has been flying since she was 14 years old, and all that time behind the controls has paid off. The 19-year-old aviator's successful trip makes her officially the youngest woman to fly solo around the world, surpassing the record held by American pilot Shasta Ways. But it wasn't an easy journey.
Flying from Russia to South Korea was really tough because I had to avoid North Korea, and that meant doing a huge detour. And at one point the weather started worsening as well.
The record-breaking trip took about 2 months longer than Zara had planned, with bad weather and visa mishaps holding up her journey.
Coming out to Frankfurt, there was lots of rain, lots of snow, but yeah, so I had to wiggle in some valleys, and I had to wait a while as well to wait for the snow to clear. But yeah, it worked out, clearly, because here I am. So.
Zara hopes her success will inspire a new generation of women aviators.
The news out of the press, the attention I've gotten from this to encourage more girls to go into aviation as well.
Now that Zara's feet are back on solid ground, her next big mission is to get some sleep before starting her collegiate career and one day flying to new heights as an astronaut.
The trucking industry is facing a shortage of drivers. So now a federal pilot program is hoping to alleviate that shortage by allowing truckers under the age of 21 to drive across state lines. Joni Lewis has more.
Roadmaster Driver School celebrates 30 years in the Tampa Bay area this month. With the trucking industry facing challenges from the pandemic and a shortage of around 80,000 drivers, their work is important now more than ever.
But there's been a shortage for many years, and the primary reason is because more people are retiring than getting into the industry. Of course, in 2021, with COVID, there were so many things that toppled the supply-demand formula.
A federal pilot program aims to help by allowing truckers under 21 to now drive cross state lines.
18 to 20-year-olds can drive right now within state lines. So an 18 to 20-year-old right now can drive from Key West to Pensacola, 800 miles, but they can't drive 30 miles from Tallahassee to Thomasville, Georgia. So it's a little ridiculous that we don't think they can drive across state lines.
While groups against the apprenticeship say safety is a concern that should be considered.
It's trading safety, the lives of fellow roadway users, so that the industry can get access to a labor pool to solve their retention crisis.
Under the apprenticeship, truckers have to complete 400 hours of probationary time before driving on their own. And even after that, they will continue to be monitored and provide monthly safety reports until they turn 21.
And if that works out, then hopefully they'll be able to expand the program and allow us to train more.
An LA court hearing put Britney Spears' conservatorship and finances back under the spotlight. Meanwhile, the public back and forth between Britney Spears and her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, has reached a new level. Ashley Dvorkin has the latest.
Britney and Jamie Lynn Spears' social media feud turned into a back and forth over legal action. The pop superstar served her younger sister a cease and desist to stop talking about her on the book tour for Things I Should Have Said. In the letter, Spears' attorney Matthew Rosengart says, although Britney has not read and does not intend to read your book, she and millions of her fans were shocked to see how you have exploited her for monetary gain. It demands she stop referencing Britney derogatorily during her promotional campaign, and notes Britney will be taking the high road for the time being. Jamie Lynn's attorney, Brian Friedman, sent a response letter to Rosengart obtained by TMZ. Included, he says, recent social media posts by Britney will lead to more threats of violence against Jamie Lynn, which will not be tolerated. He also says they failed to specify any wrongdoing, and had they read the book, they would know it's not about Britney, but Jamie Lynn's own experiences growing up in the same family. Britney. Lingering legal battles between Britney and her father, Jamie, continued in court Wednesday. The 13-year conservatorship ended in November, but attorneys argued at a hearing over his legal fees, which he wants his daughter to pay. Rosengart alleges business misconduct and potentially criminal misconduct against Jamie, referencing allegations from a New York Times documentary that Spears bugged his daughter's phone and home. Jamie's attorney, Alex Weingarten, says accusations in both regards are all nonsense. The judge gave Britney control of her money in the meantime, transferring assets back from the conservatorship, and told the attorneys to return to court in July when there will be a decision over a trial.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. It's no phony baloney that a meat company is making fun of baloney and childhood pranks and high-end self-care. The Oscar Mayer company is facing up to the fact that we're all tired of wearing face masks. So they're simultaneously poking fun at wearing them and high-end spa care. The Oscar Mayer baloney sheet mask is an anti-inflammatory spa mask that takes you back to being a kid when you poked holes in bologna and put it on your face to bother your parents. While they did sell out quickly, they're already planning to restock. Those masks are available for $5 on Amazon.com. Thanks for being with us. Have a great weekend.